Welcome to Module 2, the 5 biggest mistakes and how you can avoid them. There's a lot we can do to stay safe in this world. And it all starts with you. You are your own best safety advocate. So let's tackle the top mistakes and get them on your radar. Today, we're going to start with being unaware of your risks. Now, this reminds me of Dr. Tasha Eurich. Now, she was talking about self-awareness. And according to her and her research team, they suggest that when we see ourselves clearly, we're more confident, we're more creative, we make sounder decisions, build stronger relationships, and communicate more effectively. And we're more effective leaders. Now, this sounds really great, right? But here's the bad news. 95% of the people that they were researching and doing studies with, 95% of the people said that they were self-aware. But as they did their study, she found out that only 10 to 15% actually were. So look her up on YouTube. She has a great TEDx video. But she was talking about self-awareness, and I feel this might be similar to being unaware about what's happening around us. Because a lot of people think we know what's happening around us, but we don't. We need to start looking. We need to be aware. We need to assess the situation. We need to be more aware, and we need to take the time to look around. We need to improve our situational awareness. You look and see what's around us. And one of the suggestions that Dr. Eurich talks about in her video is don't ask why, ask what. So I don't want to ask, why do I need safety? I need to change this to what's important to me. Will safety help me achieve what is important to me? You have to know the risk to avoid the risk, and keeping my family safe is important to me. So that is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to be aware of the risks around me, because when I know the risks, I can avoid the risks. Now, lack of strategies. Let's look around and identify what strategies we need to have to keep our family safe and our friends safe and ourselves safe. Let's look at situational awareness. How many of you have seen somebody trip or fall while looking at a cell phone? Lots, I'm sure. On YouTube, you can watch people walk into fountains, walk into doors, and worse, get hit by cars because they were walking into the street without looking. Now, people need to develop their situational awareness, and it really is a life or death situation in some cases, especially when we think about distracting and distractive drivers and the numbers of people that are killed because somebody is texting. These problems that people are bringing on, oftentimes are bringing on themselves because they're looking at a cell phone and doing something, but the problem is they're damaging others as well. They're damaging others in the process. But there's also another level of distraction, the lack of situational awareness that is with criminals. Now, criminals target the unaware. And this is a huge vulnerability. And as a part of our safety travel program, we would talk about petty crime and how it's $1 billion industry, that they would target cell phones, passports, and wallets. The same happens here. Criminals are looking for the perfect victim. That's their job. And sometimes it's their full-time job. So it should be your full-time job to deter and to stop crime from happening. So lack of tools. Criminals have tools. We need to have tools. We need to have tools to defend, alert, notify others that we might need help. We need to use locks, and we need to use our eyes and our ears. We need to be alert. We have to leave the distractions and be more present in the moment. Or we just might miss the hazard. Remember to mind the gap. Now, techniques. My favorite technique is self-defense. I want to know I have a secret weapon that's ready with a second's notice, and that some of you might have to respond to a dangerous situation. And this is why it's so critical. We have 1 second we need to respond. We know what to do. That's what self-defense brings to us. And when we create plans based on what if scenarios, we can develop quicker response times. Now, when we think about the freeze, fight, or flight response, that's an automatic psychological reaction to an event that is perceived as stressful or frightening. And the perception of threat activates the nervous system and triggers an acute stress response that prepares the body to fight, flee, or freeze. Now, self-defense classes may help us from freezing in a bad situation. We develop muscle memory that can help our mind work faster and give us choices in a stressful situation because we have practiced it. We've practiced all the techniques during our self-defense class. And this helps us prepare with the skill of protection. We need to be intentional with our safety. It takes time, it takes effort, and we need to do these classes. Lack of resources. So we all need resources, including training like today. And also, we need to have 24-hour hotlines to help in a worst case situation. As a crisis counselor, I know how critical it is to have that emergency number ready. You don't want to have to go looking for a number if you're experiencing trauma or a friend or a family member is experiencing trauma. You want your resources at your fingertips. I know the faster somebody can talk about a horrific experience to someone who understands, the faster the healing process can start. I'll leave some very important numbers to help, and you should write these numbers down so that if somebody you know needs help and needs to talk, you'll have a critical resource to help their healing. We need to change a victim to a survivor, and it starts through conversations. It's the first thing we can do to a victim is allow them the space to share what they've gone through. So speaking with a trained advocate is critical. For sexual assaults, you can call 1-800-656-HOPE, HOPE. For domestic violence, you can dial 833-SAFE-833. Once again, 833-SAFE-833. Or for trauma or a person that's been victimized, they can dial 1-888-288-9221. Preparedness planning starts with you. Here are some quick ways to help your safety. We start with the Wander Safe. The Wander Safe is an amazing tool, handheld device that pairs with your cell phone. It has a way to defend with a strobe light and a regular light. It has a button to alert. You can make a sound that's so loud it possibly could scare off the criminal. And then it has a panic button where if you push this button 3 times, it will notify your loved ones that you're in need of help, and it will also send your GPS location. So people can either A, call you right back and check on you, or B, if you don't answer, they can send help to your location. This is a critical tool to use. Next is the Stash Band. I love this product. So when people are running out the door and they have their keys, their wallet, maybe your credit card and some money, you can put it in your Stash Band with your shirt over it. And this way you can't have your purse stolen. And if things are stolen, you have your critical necessities to get yourself to safety. Maybe some keys, maybe a credit card, maybe some spare cash. And this also holds your cell phone so that if you do have your Wander Safe beacon, it's paired with your cell phone. So if you're out on a jog and you feel like you're in danger, you can press your SOS button It will go to your cell phone that's hidden underneath your clothing, and it can get that important message out to people that you need help. These are critical tools to keep you safe.